We're on.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of this Costa ZIM Podcast. Right here, we got myself, Mike.
Your boy Costa.
Today, we're coming at you with a reaction. It's March 8th, was the NHL Trade Deadline. So, we're just going to want to talk about a couple things now that the deadline's come and gone. 3 p.m. Eastern was the cutoff. It's just after 4 o'clock out here. First thing I guess we'll open up with our favorite team, the Boston Bruins. Made a couple moves today. Nothing too big, nothing major. Wasn't expected to be too many big pieces moving anyway. But they went and got Patrick Maroon out of Minnesota. And then another more of a really depth move for a seventh defenseman, Peak. They came out of Columbus.
So, Andrew Peak's move was for maybe not the most important player for Boston, but a real player that I really knew.
Your boy.
Jakub Zboril. I had him on my NHL 21 team, and he got like to 90 overall. So I just really like this guy, and
You're really high on him.
because I have that memory with playing with him. But Zboril wanted to be traded. He was a seventh defenseman in Boston, wasting his time. And Zboril, he drafted so high, there was so much, up, like,
A
there's
lot of
only,
upside there, yeah.
there's like an expectation to fill being drafted 13th overall. And Bruins picked him and Zachary Senyshyn over the next three guys who were Matthew Barzal,
Barzal went 14th, yeah.
which is unfortunate. But with this Peak move, Andrew Peak will fill in the spot in Providence because, as you know, Zboril was, I think, on the first pairing in Providence. So I guess that's more of an AHL depth move. And for Patrick Maroon, they let go this AHL center, probably playing on third line. I think Luke Toporowski
And a 6th rounder.
and a sixth rounder.
So for a guy that can make a difference in the playoffs, that's proven that he can do that, in the last several years. So
You've seen him play with the Lightning. I just hope he can do that with the Bruins because, we're looking to get the Stanley Cup or make the final after, letting go some of the biggest Bruins players to ever play for the franchise in Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. So, back to you.
I would say all in all, today overall in general, again, more of a quiet trade deadline day in compared to, some other years. But, analysts going into today didn't really think we were going to see a lot of big name talent moving anyway. It really depends the year, caliber of players that are sort of pending free agents or maybe with 1 year, the following year remaining on a contract. And that really wasn't the case with a lot of the players this year. So the pool of what really was available and who you think would move, it just wasn't there. So, a quiet day as expected, really. One interesting move that went on that I saw was Toffoli. Toffoli goes to Winnipeg. Again, one of these guys that usually during the deadline, because he is a good player, his name's always out there. He's been traded a few times in his career, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. That means you're good enough that other teams want you, so there's something there. So I think that was a good move for Winnipeg.
And Winnipeg, I'd say, would be struggling because after them going so high, it was down that from then. They hit third, and this could be like the Leafs. The Leafs they were maybe in second, and then dropping down to fourth. It wasn't pretty as Winnipeg was tied on Boston for first and Vancouver. Winnipeg, Boston, and Vancouver, they were top three. Two Canadian teams were top three. And then you just kept seeing them fall, which is really unfortunate because I really do root for Winnipeg. Them coming back to Winnipeg to revive the hockey after coming back from Atlanta. And Winnipeg, I really do feel bad because remember the Patrick Laine story, them trading a lot of big names because they can't catch up. And now that they finally got their breakout, they dropped. And now I see them, going back on the horizon after the Toffoli move. And I do think they will be in the playoffs, but I'm considering them making it past the first round because I think they play the Stars, and the Stars are right now my dark horse of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, back to you.
Well, we don't want to make it go too long here. I think 6 minutes is fair for a first attempt at a YouTube video. So again, we're gonna be coming out with different content, mainly hockey based. We're based out here in Toronto, Canada, and hockey's our favorite sport. So we're just always gonna have some thoughts and insights on the NHL and the goings on around the league, and our thoughts, and just start a conversation with you guys, with everybody out there. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll come back to you soon with another video.
Peace.